This is Orlando Wilson, and what I want to talk about in this video is clients, boundaries, and do you trust clients? And of course, the answer is no, they're clients. This is where people seem to have this misconception, this fantasy that they should die for their clients. I talk about this in other videos. And of course you shouldn't. If you got that mentality, you're in the wrong business. You need to see a psychiatrist. I put out a couple of videos about this, and one guy come back to me. He thought of his clients as his family, etc., etc. BS. You know what? The client is a client. This is business. It's a close protection business. You provide the clients with services for money. If they don't pay, you don't provide the services. There has to be clearly defined boundaries and protocols of what services you provide the client and how much they pay you for those services. I'd also bring it in that I wouldn't deal with a disrespectful client. I would have issues with the client if he was disrespecting my people and asking them to do things that were outside of the pre-arranged protocols for the services that they should be providing them. All this needs to be established to start with. You're not a flunky. If you sign a contract to be somebody's companion and flunky, okay, best of luck to you. Make money, be happy, thank you very much. But all this has to be prearranged. There has to be boundaries because it's business. Yes, you could be spending a lot of time with a client, but there has to be boundaries, professional boundaries. They're not your friend. And this is where one of the big issues is people getting too friendly with the clients. There has to be professional boundaries and there has to be a professional distance. They're not your friend. And I've said it in other videos. I've seen it where clients have fired whole shifts, day shifts, because they had a problem with one person. To a lot of clients, your staff, your domestic staff, your hired staff. So even though you think that they're your friend, they're not your friend, it's business. I've had it over the years where, yeah, the client's your best friend because they want something until it comes down to renewing contracts. And then they start complaining about the money's too high, nothing's happened, everything's good. Why do they need to pay so much if nothing's happening? Well, generally people pay for security so nothing happens. And I've had it with clients that they cut security and then come back to me afterwards when they're having problems saying, can we go back to where we were? Sure, if you want to pay the money again. But again, that's the business and it's business. Don't go thinking your clients are your friends. They're not, they're clients. Would I trust clients? No. Why? Because a lot of times, and I've had it, they're not going to tell you the truth about situations because they don't want you to up the fees. We had one job years ago, an investigation job. We were looking into somebody in depth in Eastern Europe. And the client that gave me this job gave me the guy's background, etc. But they left out one vital piece of information, which they knew about. That the guy was reportedly had links to narcos, had links to drug trafficking. My guys that were looking into him in depth got a knock on the door from their authorities, senior authorities, saying, what are you doing looking into this guy? Because we're already looking into him. Everything was rectified, everything was sorted out. And when I went to my clients, the investigation client that wanted this guy looking into and mentioned this and put the dirt on the table, they were like, oh, but we didn't know anything about this and we can't believe this about this client and all the rest of it. BS. A couple of weeks later, they contacted me saying, well, you know what you said about this guy, about the narco stuff and everything else? Yeah, we heard something about that a while back, but we didn't quite believe it. To me, it was BS. This client knew about it, but they didn't tell me because they knew if they told me the guy had narco connections, my price would have gone up sharply. Also, I wasn't particularly happy and didn't deal with this client again because by not telling me, they put my guys at risk. And it made me look stupid because, okay, my guys are knocking on somebody's door, doing a decent investigation, in-depth investigation, and now they got their authorities knocking on their door because their authorities think they're up to something. So that could have caused us big problems. Luckily, we know how to swim, so it didn't cause us problems. It was just an inconvenience. But again, this is where I don't trust clients because there's been many times over the years where clients have withheld information, try to do stuff which, how can I put it, isn't transparent because they want to save money, or they want to try and cut me out of deals, etc., etc. So there has to be boundaries with clients, and they're not your friends. It's business. So keep it strictly business. And again, as long as the money's coming, no worries. As long as when the money stops coming, they're not your friends. They need to pay. I hope that makes sense. So I have an array of books online to do with security issues, including close protection. We're throwing out more of these videos on social media. Follow us on social media, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, etc., for more videos and more information answering your questions about close protection and the security business. In the meantime, don't trust your clients. Don't trust anybody where money is concerned or business is concerned. And by not trusting people, it will help to keep you out of trouble, and it will help to keep your bank accounts full-ish.